Bushfires. Bushfires occur when burn-offs, lightning, or other flammable objects set fire to the bush and get out of control. They set damage to land and affect many Australian lives.
Bushfires mostly occur the most. Bushfires mostly occur in summer and on the coast, but that all depends on rain, heat, and circumstances. Summer has the most bushfires because it is clearly the hottest part of the year, but this doesn't mean the other seasons cannot have many bushfires as well.
The basic causes.
There are lots of causes of bushfires. Some are natural, some are accidental, and some are purposefully lit. But some are very strange. If there is a house nearby in the bush, electric bolts can start a fire. A fire is easily started, such as a tree getting hit by lightning.
The moisture fuel sources. The moisture fuel sources of a bushfire include living green leaves, dead fine fuel, and sometimes water. Dry dead leaves can start a fire very quickly if it is a dry, hot day.
Climate effect. Australian climate is most likely hot, dry, and close to drought. In the southeast, sometimes strong winds, often associated with summertime cold fronts, can lead to extreme fire danger. The amount of rain in preceding months affects the amount of dry grasses. If good spring rains have resulted in abundant plant growth, late summer grass fires can be intense. This is sometimes very serious. Black Saturday.
One of the main bushfires in Australia was called Black Saturday. This major bushfire was caused by the heat waves in southern Australia 2009, and the ignition source was heat. 173 people died and around 4,000 homes got destroyed, but the town Marysville was completely destroyed. This was very sad considering this was a very popular village.
The environment.
When a bushfire burns, the smoke pollutes the air and it affects the communities, and it sometimes burns down the farms, which means many animals get burned and many trees. Bushfires affect the environment very much.
Adaptation.
Plants and animals have adapted to bushfires and know how to survive particular fire regimes. This means that they can get away from certain fire regimes and survive.
Helpers. A lot of unaffected moneymakers such as AFL or banks send money to help with the recover. Community responses involve creating a department of bushfires and starting a volunteer cleanup. In Queensland, we have one fire service that responds to bushfires. We have one fire commissioner and a well-understood chain of command. Fire commissioner.
The fire commissioner has authority for all aspects of management and operations. People respond to bushfires and fires in general by installing smoke alarms and making sure flammable objects are kept away from ovens, stoves, and power plugs.
Firefighters.
Firefighters try to keep fires under control by using fuel reduction, and this means that there are less things to burn, such as grass, twigs, plants, and so on. There are also bring trucks loaded with water and good communication systems. Keeping the fire under control also helps animals move to a habitat place, and it helps them reduce the injuries and homes being burnt down.
Sometimes it's just not enough.
They do not help the fires because the water sometimes isn't enough and they reach it too late, but most of the time they do help and reduce the fire so that it isn't big, and most of the time they put it out.
CSIRO.
CSIRO Bushfire Research is improving the understanding of a fire and improving technologies and strategies to save lives and limit damage. Scientists figure out where we are most vulnerable and help us understand what to do when to act. They make technology to prevent larger spreads of fire.
From satellites.
When satellites come close to the Earth, certain bushfires can be seen. Quite a few of Australian and New Zealand bushfires were seen from space, a lot from Black Friday.
What to look at.
Many things to look at when you prevent bushfires. The three main factors of bushfires are oxygen, fuel and extreme heat. So you have to look out for those symptoms as they may lead to a bushfire. The fuel sources of a bushfire are fuel moisture, fuel load, wind speed, high temperature, low humidity, and slope angles. So look out for these as well.
Prevention. Have campfires only in open, sandy areas and make sure they are completely dead and covered with sand or dirt after they are no longer required. If you smoke, avoid flicking cigarettes out of car windows when driving. Conduct council-approved controlled burn-offs in bushfire season. This reduces how much fuel there is for a bushfire. Have communication close by if anything gets serious.